Hi, and welcome to Vero Circle, a place where we have women empowerment, no judgment, and a lot of laughs and cries. Today's guest is Adela. Hi. I met Adela almost about a year ago, huh? I was going to my favorite country singers concert, Louis the Singer, and I went to go pick up his manager, and Adela was sitting there having a meeting with him. She heard I was a writer, and here we are a year later.
Hi, Vero. Thank you for having me on. This is cool. I love it. I love what you're doing. I love the whole vibe.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. Today's topic is going to be trauma, triumph, and how women go through the tragedies of being in domestic violence situations, bad relationships. We're not here to bash men, but we are here to tell stories about the trauma that we went through and how we were able to rise above it. Adela being one of my very first people on here, I'm very excited because she has been through a lot of drama. I am currently in the process of writing her story, so it's very intriguing and it's an amazing story. Adela, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Adela, and I'm the owner of Adela Family Salsa. And with that being said, how did I get here? Um, I have my own marketing business as well. I also do events for our community. I try to support my community as much as I possibly can, and and I just try to help out. I believe that um, we have to go through trauma in order to realize where we are in life to support and help other people. If we were born in a perfect world and we were living in a perfect life and everything went great for us, there would be no reason for us to help other people out. So I feel that the trauma that I went through, the tears that I've cried, helped me understand and to help other people.
Right, 100%. Much like Adela, myself, I was in a relationship. I do have kids from two different men. My oldest one, God rest his soul, he was abusive, and it was a very short lived relationship because of that. A girl growing up, I used to love watching Ricky Lake, and I would yell at the screen, "Get out of that relationship! He's no good." I don't know if you ever used to watch the TV show Ricky Lake, but she would have women on there who were going through abusive relationships, and I'm like, "You're so stupid. Just leave." But until you are actually physically in that same situation, it's a completely different story. I met my two younger kids' dad, and I lived through 20 years on and off of mental, physical, and emotional abuse. There were days where I was just so depressed. I did not want to live. I fought for my kids. Now, I'm not here to bash men, but I'm here to tell women you can get through it. There is help out there. There's plenty of people that could help you. Police, there's women's shelters, there is a lot of opportunity out there that I was never able to seek. I don't know if you were ever able to seek anything.
I mean, as a young kid, like again, my parents died at a real when I was really young, so I kind of grew up by myself. But I see things in a whole different aspect of life now from the trauma that I went through, and it wasn't because like I know we want to blame other people for our trauma, but we're there because we put ourselves in that predicament. We either start dating really young and we don't know what dating's supposed to be like, and we the first guy that tells us we're pretty and like fluffs our hair and and tells us and oh they have a nice ride or oh they have this, we jump for it.
Absolutely.
And so I think the biggest trauma we had was not knowing how to love ourselves and how to respect ourselves. And so whatever we were lacking, we looked for in somebody else. And as soon as they fed us that little crumb, we jumped for it. And absolutely, as a grown ass adult now,
I'm like, no, thank you.
I'm like, I don't want that crumb. I want the loaf of bread, bro.
We actually just had this conversation the other night. I did as with Robert and BFA, to the gentleman I do some work with for Love of Boxing. But we had this conversation because I have a Facebook dating app where I put I don't want no BS, and then the first guy that comes into my DMs and asks me if I'm a sexually active person in a relationship, I'm like, why is that the first question you ask? And they're like, you just put no BS on there. I'm like, but that should not be the first question you ask me when you're trying to get to know me. So that was the whole topic. But you're right.
But
You know,
it-
to seek things, I
But
think.
I think that's one of the biggest things, because when we want to sit here and blame a man for them cheating and they don't stop cheating, why do you stay? Like, when you sit there and you talk about a guy who beats you, like, when have you picked up the phone to call that cop to get rid of his ass?
Right.
You know, there's just so many different things that women don't want to accept, or men don't want to accept. They end up with a girl, they're like, all these women do are use me, bro. Like, you keep giving her your wallet. So why is she not going to use you? Like, there's all these trigger signs that people see before, but because they are so lonely and they don't want to be alone, they go and they hold on to this. And one of the biggest things that I tell people now is, like, look for friendship.
Right.
Look up, see if you can last friends with this person for 6 months and they see you through thick and thin,
Right.
then they're gonna decide, like, fuck that, I ain't gonna be with that hoe. She's crazy.
Right.
She's toxic.
Yes, absolutely.
Or the guy's gonna be, or the girl's gonna be like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be putting up, because you see how they carry
Right.
themselves and you decide right then and there. But if you're that lonely that you're willing to accept that, then you have to accept the way he's going or she's going to treat you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, as a person, we have to hold boundaries. We have to respect ourselves. We have to love that person we see in the mirror every
Yep.
single morning.
100%.
And if you don't, you could sit here and we could bash all these guys that did this to us, that did that to us, and did that. But the thing is we allow it. Right? You sit there and you cry over a guy that doesn't want to stay home and he's out everywhere. Why are you crying over that? You're accepting it.
Right.
Might as well just live with
Yes.
it. You know what I mean?
And early on, mind you, I was in my relationship early too. I know you had kids early as well. And my parents divorced when I was in the 5th grade, and that trauma carried me for a long time. I was so afraid to have a broken home for my kids because I seen the war that it caused between my mom and dad. You know, my parents, still 30 some years later, are in World War III with each other. And it's like, okay, enough is enough. Like, my brother passed away 3 years ago, and that was a battle in itself to have my dad come and see us burying my brother. My mom did not want my son. It was a huge mess, and that was what I did not want for my kids. And at the time, my two younger kids' dad would tell me, "Don't you want a family? Look at your family was broken. My family was broken," and he weighed in on that part of me inside where I just constantly stayed and stayed for the kids, for the kids. And let me tell you, staying for your kids is the biggest mistake you could ever make. I regret that now. 30 years later, almost, my oldest son is 29, but if I knew what I knew today, all those years ago, I would have never stayed. I would have learned that that woman in the mirror that I seek every day that's crying, I would love her more and more than life itself, which I do now. But I've been on this journey for 8 years.
But and I think that's where it's hard, because I mean, me again, like, I went through so much growing up and trying to learn how to be not only a wife but a mom, and I couldn't do it. Like, I had this trigger. Okay, you hit me, I hit you back. You hit me harder, I hit you with my car. It's one of those things, like, where, I mean, I learned of really, like, it was real traumatizing to, like, even now, like, I have PTSD when it comes to relationships, because
Right.
I'm like, no, like, I'm scared. Because
Right.
there's some people, like, I've had people that could sit there, they've handed me the world. I was married to that, but they handed me the world and said, here, I got you.
Yeah.
And then the minute I didn't do what they wanted me to do, they took it off from me. So
Yeah.
now it's like when people try to hand me stuff, I'm like, no, it's okay, you keep it.
Right.
Or if it's people that don't, like, it's, you have to learn how to grow as a person. And if you're just going to go out there and date, and you're just going to go out there and give yourself to people, then expect what's coming. Now, the only thing I could always just say is, okay.
Right. Next, I used to be the type of person, because I have been involved in men that didn't do a whole lot for me. You know what I mean? I always cater to them. Like I paid all the bills. I, provided this, this, and that. You took all my money to pay all these bills, and I allowed them. You know what I mean? And that's where now I'm like, I have my own stuff. You know what I mean? And I feel personally before I start dating, if I don't have my shit together now as a woman, as a mother, as a grandmother, as just a business person. Like I'm trying to succeed in life. I don't need somebody to drag me down. And I'm not looking for that, So therefore I'm not looking in a relationship. All these bad traumatic relationships that I've had has affected me now, but in a positive way because I'm growing. Every day I grow. Every day I learn from my mistakes. I seek therapy. And when they tell you to heal that inner child, it gave me a whole new meaning when I started. And I'm like, okay, this is what they were talking about. You have to heal. And everyone's different. My story is different from Adela's story. We all have different stories. We all have different trauma, but we're rising from it. You're successful. You're doing a lot of things in the community.
And the thing is you have to look at what you consider success, because to me, successful doesn't mean all the money in the world.
Right.
Successful doesn't mean, it just means that you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, that's a badass bitch right there. Like, she's still standing through all the shit that she has been through and has been put through. She's still holding her head up high. Yeah. To me, that is success right there. If you can't do that, if you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, like I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that, I'm struggling, like you sit there and look at all the negative things, which I do that a lot on a daily basis. So if I'm sitting here struggling with all of these insecurities of my survival, what do you think I'm going to do? I don't want to sit there and latch onto a guy that says, here, I could pay all this for you, because then I'm giving myself to somebody who's just going to mistreat me. Right. Because if I give you this, then I'm going to do that. You need to do this for me. And the minute I don't like doing something, all of that's going to get taken from me. So I might as well just struggle with with the stuff that I have and figure out how to make it on my own until you can actually find somebody that's like, where
is okay growing with you.
Growing. Yes. That is like the biggest thing to like, if they can show you that they can ride with you and be there with you through thick and thin and like not expect anything in return and still give you the same love that they gave you from day one that they met you, then fuck you, let's fucking roll those dice. But until I feel that, like, I'm not good down, like, how, like, I'm sitting here counting fucking, like, on my notebook, okay, he gave me this, that cost this much, and I'm fucking adding shit up. Or, like, I'm sitting there and adding, like, down, like, he took me to the store this time, I'm fucking writing all the things down because I'm like, all this shit's gonna get thrown in my fucking face later, so I'm adding all this shit down. I'm like, okay, I gotta pay this back. I have fucking, like,
Absolutely. My kid's dad used to do that to me. He had his own house, and he's like, I own this house, therefore you own me. I'm like, okay. So with that being said, I do want to give a huge shout out to Maria with Maria's Berries. I do apologize. Go follow her on Instagram at the link below.
All right, check it out, you guys. Berry Blessed by Maria. We just came and picked up our order of these custom-made chocolate-covered strawberries. She is such an artist. She hand makes these, and look at the artistry of this here. Amazing, and of course, they're absolutely delicious. We appreciate you, and we are going to continue to support the love that you actually do for this greatness, and we hope you guys don't act a fool. Hit her up. She's on Instagram. Berry
Blessed by Maria.
Follow her.
Thank you so much.
Follow her. Yes.
Welcome back to Vero Circle, where I have my guest and someone I'm honored to call friend, Adela.
We're back.
So we are back, and we are discussing trauma, tribulations, or trials and tribulations, and how we rise above it from two different perspectives. Some of the same traumas we went through that we're rising, but the main thing is learning about ourselves, self-love, and how to love ourselves before we're able to be somebody better, as Adela put it, successful, because you can be successful in many different directions. Money, materialistic things, but being successful within yourself is probably the biggest accomplishment anyone can receive. You agree?
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things is because I've seen so many celebrities and I've seen so many people that have all the money in the world, but they're so damn miserable. So the thing is if you find that self love within yourself and you learn how to carry yourself, then the money comes in. Like what money comes into you, you're gonna be more blessed with that instead of like being rich and just being like all sad. I mean, I don't care. Sometimes I'll be sad with $100 bills going to the beach. just
Or the pennies that you're picking up from the floor.
I'm like, hold on, I just want this one shot.
Yeah, like Eminem said, just one shot.
One
Just
shot.
one shot.
No,
But,
I'm just kidding. Like, I mean, one of the things is like, I mean, I think if everybody knows who I am and they see, one of the biggest things is I joke and I laugh a lot. I do, and I think like one of the things is I had a lot of friends compare me to the Joker because if you ever saw the
yes.
movie, whenever I get nervous or I get like scared, whatever the situation is, I start laughing. I don't care, like, you know what I mean? But to me, I just feel that, I mean, we have to grow as people and we have to figure out a way to overpower our weakness. And if we don't overpower it, then somebody else will.
Yeah.
And so that's why I do what I do. Like I learned to overpower all my fears. I learned to overpower if I'm scared of something. Like one of the biggest things I was scared of was jumping out of a plane. Now I go skydiving all the time. Like to me, that's like if I say I'm scared of something, I go for it. Like I go full force, and I mean it's just.
I was afraid to fly. But I want to travel the world. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Greece. I've never even been to Mexico. Can you believe that? And it's just like a hop, skip, and a jump. And if you're Arizona raised, everyone in Arizona goes to Mexico on the weekend. Everyone. I've never been to Mexico. And a big part of that as to why I never went, my kid's dad was a felon. We didn't go anywhere. My escape was tax season to go to Disneyland with my kids. You know what I mean? I didn't do a whole lot. I struggled as a single mom. And I put myself in that, like you said, like I put myself in those positions, I escaped and then I would go right back because he would say something good. And I'm like, to me, he was good looking. And I'm like, he's supposed to be the one. He gives me butterflies in my stomach. And now he just gives me PTSD, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm grateful for the journey that I've had, you know what I mean? If I were to die tomorrow, would I die happy? You know what I mean? And that's the way I look at everyday life. Am I happy where I'm at today? Physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. Am I a happy person? And that's my only goal in life, is to be genuinely happy with myself, with a significant other, with my life, with my children, with my grandchildren, everything. And that to me is the success.
And it is. I mean, to me, whatever puts a smile on your face at the end of the night when you're going to go to sleep, that's success. Whether it's being that great mom, being that great grandma, being successful at work. I mean, we all have different ways of success, like I said. And so, I don't know, you have to really work on yourself. Like that's one thing that you have to do. Like there's people that struggle with their weight. They look and they're like, oh my God. So their insecurity. So what happens? They just go and hook up with whatever they can find because it's easy access. And then they don't like how they're being treated. So it's kind of like you have to love what you see. Like if you're not happy with how you look, go to the gym and lose some motherfucking weight. If you don't like how you look, fucking save that money and make yourself look how you want to look to make yourself secure. Otherwise, figure out how to make yourself secure like that. Because all you do is go find somebody who's gonna fight, who sees, oh, that's her low self-esteem. I'm gonna go fuck with that because then she gonna give me the world with that shit. Watch.
Yeah.
And so many females do. Or so many guys do. And that's where you can't be. So like a lot of my guy friends, even my guy friends that I hang around with and I talk with, I'm like, hey, like, and I see that they're insecure. Bro, fix that.
Right.
Like, why do you carry yourself like that if you know that's your insecurity? No, we'll fix it. Come on.
Right.
I'm going to show you how to do this and this and this and that. My female friends, hey, you're beautiful. And if you can't see it, then whatever you feel that you're insecure about, go fix it. Because the only way you're gonna succeed in life is feeling good about yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't feel good about your choices, then any person you bring into your life is gonna be your biggest fucking downfall.
And that means creating a circle of people that are good to you. You don't want a friend that is going to bash you and bandage anything. Like, no, you don't look horrible in that, knowing you probably do. You know, you need to be able to surround yourself, like you said, like, I'm a friend. I'm going to tell you what you want to hear because I love you. Like, you know what, Adela, no, you don't need that man. No, he's mistreating you, or whatever the case may be. But a friendship, a true friendship, needs to be someone that is going to pick you up at your darkest times and help you. Not just someone, well, in my opinion anyway, not just someone that's going to be a so-called friend.
But it's not even like, even at that, in that aspect, you can't there's nobody that should be held accountable to your happiness. Again, people come into your life like chapters, little stories, like they come in for seasons. They're not there to fix you. You have to fix yourself. That's your responsibility. You can't wait for other people to tell you what, because then you get mad at them because they didn't tell you what the fuck you wanted to hear. Yeah. You have to take accountability for yourself. That's why I say the only person that you have to speak to is that person in that mirror. And if you can't speak to that person and say, damn, you look fucked up, like that, then that's on you, baby. Because the thing is we hold so many people accountable. It's like me, and I've said it many times. I have billions of people that I associate with. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of acquaintances. I have all these people, but guess what? They're not there to, like, if they're there to listen to me, great.
Right.
I've learned to keep my mouth shut to a lot of people because shit gets spread, but that's my fault because I want to open my mouth to people. And so I have to realize anything this mouth tells people, it's to go around. You know what I mean? So I make sure whatever I say, I mean, and I don't care who fucking hears it.
Right.
And those are the things that we have to take accountability for. You get yourself a great circle that you want them to listen to what you say, or that they're going to uplift you. And it's like you tell me, whenever you call me, hey, what's up, Vero? Okay, this is what you do. This is how you do it.
Right.
And whether you take that advice or not, hey, I gave it to you as a friend. I don't repeat what was said. We just move forward. And, if you do it, great. I high five you when I see it done.
Yeah.
You don't do it, I'm like, damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
I gave you that advice and you didn't take it.
I mean, you can't sit there.
You don't tear anybody down.
No, you can't. You can't. Because people are gonna move in their time.
Right.
You have people that have, again, people are there in seasons. They're not there to be there in your whole life. Like I have this one friend that, like, we had such a great season, like talking to each other, the friendship and stuff. And there's days that I want to relive that. And every time we talk, we start beefing and talking shit to each other. And it's like, our season has ended.
Yeah.
So we just gotta move on. Nothing bad, because you know what? When we had our season, it was great times, great laughs. But this is telling me I need to move a different direction. 100%. And we do that. And it's okay. And the thing is the whole world is just trying to decide, who's bashing me, who's hurting me, who's on top of me, who's this, who's spreading this. Like, I don't care no more. Like, honestly, like, I am so tired. I'm like, fuck. I'm at my own house, and problems come to my own house. You think I want to go out to deal with anybody else's shit or hear anybody else's shit? And that's where we have to grow stronger and just be like, it's not anybody else's responsibility to fix us. It's not anybody else's responsibility to take care of us. It's our own.
Right. And you make yourself who you make yourself out to be. I remember in my early 20s or whenever Facebook, I used to vent at 5 o'clock in the morning. When I was fighting with my kid's dad, this motherfucker. And then I looked so stupid the next day walking into Walmart with him, you know what I mean? So I'm like, girl, didn't he just beat your ass? I'm all,
you're all with the black guy right now, but I love him.
Like, those nights are long over. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean? Like I said, we all grow in our own time. In our own time, we grow. We develop who we are. Friends come and go. Even family, you know what I mean? I have family that are at each other's throat that just don't even care, you know what I mean? But if God forbid, I die tomorrow, I was their best cousin, you know what I mean? And that's what I don't want, you know what I mean? In my life, I'm not surrounding family, friends, acquaintances. If you're not affecting my life in a positive way, I don't want you in my circle, and that's why I keep my circle small. You know what I mean? I have friends I go to advice for, friends that are going to tell me what I need to hear, not versus what I want to hear, what I need to hear in times where I'm doubting myself.
You know, some of my friends, like they tell me, like, Adela, I'm not asking you your opinion anymore because because I remember I used to go out with one of my guy friends and he'd always ask me, he's like, how do I look? And I'm like, damn, bro, you look pretty fucked up in that outfit because like you should get like, because you're chunky and it's like popping out everywhere. Like you need to get some smaller pants and just like he's like, I don't even want to go out no more. Don't ask me for my opinion. Like, don't ask my opinion because I'm always gonna be straight and honest with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, to me, it's just a matter of you need to. We need to stop blaming everybody else. Like, I have some kids that sit there, my kids. They want to say, "Oh, it's this person's fault because of this. It's this person that." No, bro. It's your fault.
Right.
Like, these are your choices. We all have choices. And like the song says, I had a choice and I chose wrong.
Right? Yes.
And that's where we get that. Like, we make wrong choices, but it's like, there's days that I get up and I'm like, damn, that was so stupid, Dalla. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have said that either.
Yeah.
But it's
regret.
all me.
Right.
It has to do with nobody else. If I decided to say something stupid that somebody else was able to go and talk shit about,
Yeah.
guess whose mouth that came out of first? Mine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have to hold accountability. And we can sit here and try to bash everybody else in the world, but it's us. Like, we have those choices, and if fucking people, like, I mean, if you don't want to listen to yourself, and I talk to myself a lot, like I have 4 different me's that I have conversations with every day on my phone. Because if that bitch don't listen, this other one better listen.
I love it. With that being said, Adela, I truly appreciate you coming on and being my first
Thank
person
you.
on my live podcast. If you guys do not follow Maria with Maria's Berries, please do follow her. They're delicious. I love them. I appreciate them bringing them out. And with that being said, believe in yourself. The main focus is when you look in that mirror, believe in yourself, love yourself. Everything else will fall into place. Thank you for joining us at Veronica or Vero Circle.
Thank you guys. Bye.